Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Before we get into today's Raiders playoff chances, got to give some love to today's show sponsor, Manscaped. Head on over to manscaped.com/Raiders where you guys can save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products on the market. Now, that's good, and hopefully you like that deal. Now, I'm a superstitious person. I'm going to keep this show basically the way that I've done it the past 3 weeks. Why? Because the Raiders have won every single game. So if you think that the Raiders will make the playoffs, like the video. If you liked the video last week, you better like it again. If you liked it 2 weeks ago, you better like it. If you think that this team is going to the playoffs, I want you to go ahead and like this video right now. Now, I can't even believe I'm saying this because a few weeks ago, the Raiders were 6-7. I was like, man, season's over. But now the Raiders are 9-7, entering Week 18 on a 3-game winning streak. And even though the Raiders beat the Colts, here's what the AFC playoff picture looks like right now. You have New England, Tennessee, the Chiefs, the Bengals, and then the Buffalo Bills. They have all clinched their spot. However, you got the Colts and then the Chargers. They have yet to clinch their spots. The Raiders can get in. Pittsburgh can get in. Baltimore can get in. So what you guys are going to see here on today's show is I'm going to tell you how the Raiders can get in the playoffs. Can the Raiders make the playoffs if they lose a game? How they become the 5 seed? How they become the 6 seed? How they can become the 7 seed? So when you look at these last 2 games, Broncos, Colts, victories. Week 18 up against the Chargers. This got shifted to Sunday Night Football. If the Raiders want to make the playoffs, you basically have to win this game. So will the Raiders make the playoffs? Y for yes, or I want you to scroll on down in the comment section and type N for no. Hopefully everyone has liked the video. Hopefully everyone is typing Y for yes. Why? Because it has worked the past 3 weeks. Now the Raiders' current playoff chances as it stands right now, 53%. It's actually pretty good, right? I mean, hell, we trusted a coin, which is literally 50-50 for a few weeks. Well, when I see 53%, I feel pretty darn good about it. How can we get that number to 100%? It's really simple. If the Raiders beat the Chargers, they are 100% in the NFL playoffs. That's a big sigh of relief. However, if they lose to the Chargers, then their percentage goes all the way down to 11. So even if they lose this game, they can still get in. Now, the Raiders still can get in if the Raiders, let's say they lose to the Chargers. They would then need the Colts to lose to the Jaguars and then the Steelers to either lose or tie to the Ravens. If there's a team that I think could tie this year, it might actually be the Steelers since they've already tied 1 game this season. That's how the Raiders would get in even if they lost to the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully the Raiders win. Hopefully I don't get any more gray hair. But if you're looking for the best Raiders channel here on YouTube, we are the only Raiders channel on YouTube that has over 100,000 subscribers. Why? We're interactive. So I can shout out Elijah Mendez, Peak Boogie, Christian Alvarez, Nabala Raider 133, Kenny Raider. And I appreciate everyone. We got news, rumors, videos coming at you every single day. And I'm going to be live on Sunday for Sunday Night Football. Raiders up against the Chargers. So I don't want you to go ahead and miss it. Coming up now here on the Raiders Report in this playoff chances video is who to root for in Week 18. The easy answer is if you root for the Raiders and they win, then you're in. That's all you got to root for. However, I'm going to watch other NFL games. It's really as simple as that. So when you look at this AFC playoff picture here, you might be able to pick out a few teams. You're like, all right, here I'm rooting against, here I'm rooting for, but I'm actually going to surprise you a little bit. So my terms of, I'm really watching 6 games. The first 3, root for the Texans up against the Titans, because if the Texans beat Tennessee and the Chiefs beat the Broncos, the Chiefs get the number 1 seed. I'm going to tell you all right now, I don't want to play Kansas City. I would rather play Tennessee. That's why I'm rooting for the Texans, and it's why I'm rooting for the Chiefs. Jags up against the Colts. If the Jags beat the Colts, Raiders can basically get in, and I'll tell you a funny scenario coming up here in a little bit. And then I'm going to root for the Ravens up against the Steelers, because if the Ravens win against the Steelers, that gives the Raiders a better chance. Jets up against the Bills. If the Jets beat Buffalo and the Raiders win, that's how the Raiders become the 5 seed. And then Patriots up against the Dolphins. I want the Patriots to win, the Bills to lose, because I think I would rather play New England than Buffalo. And if the Raiders are the 5 seed, I would rather go up against New England than Buffalo. It's really as simple as that. Now, if anybody out there, I don't know about you, I went into the new year in a relationship, and I'm going to try to go into 2023 also in a relationship. If you're sitting there wondering, like, wait a minute, how can I get in a relationship easier? If you head on over to manscaped.com/Raiders and use promo code Raiders at checkout, you're going to save 20% off. You're also going to get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. I am telling you this right now. Buy the Lawnmower 4.0 for yourself. If you're a woman watching the show, get it for your man, because studies have shown women like when your Ken Stabler doesn't get just absolutely covered in a George W. Bush. That's all I got to say. Usually this thing's $89.99, but with our deal, manscaped.com/Raiders, promo code Raiders, it's only going to be $71.99. Maybe Santa Claus didn't bring you anything good for Christmas. If your Christmas tree is still up, so might have to trim those branches a little bit. Seriously, y'all, though, I promise you, you will love Manscaped products, and so will your girl. Manscaped.com/Raiders. All right, so we're going to still keep on breaking down the playoff picture and some clinching scenarios for the Silver and Black, because let's face it, I've already told you if they win, they're in. But is nobody else watching this right now a little bit curious of like, all right, Mitch, well, how can we be the 5 seed? How can we be the 6 seed? What happens if we're the 7 seed? Here's what happens. The Raiders are the 5th seed if they beat the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. If the Bills lose to the Jets in Week 18, that's the scenario. Because if the Bills lose, the Raiders win, then they would be the team that ends up getting that 5 seed. Why? The Patriots, they also actually have to beat the, whatchamacallits. Patriots have to beat the Dolphins, and they become the 4 seed. Then Buffalo drops down. Raiders are the new 5 seed. So out of this idea, okay, let's say in a world the Raiders, they win, that happens, they're the 5 seed. Who would you rather face? Would you rather face New England, or would you rather face Buffalo? And I get it. If the Raiders are the 5 seed, you'd end up playing New England. But who would you honestly rather face? Type BUF for the Buffalo Bills, or I want you to go ahead and type NE for the New England Patriots. For the Raiders to be the 5 seed, all you got to do is beat the Chargers. Or 6 seed, excuse me. If you beat the Chargers, you are then the number 6 seed. You have the tiebreaker over the Indianapolis Colts, and if the Patriots and Bills both win, which I hate to break it to you, I see them winning, then both of those teams would be the 4 and then the 5 seed. Raiders get the 6 seed. So if they beat the Chargers, they're the 6 seed. Now here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. The Raiders get the 7 seed if, and let's say they lose to the Chargers, lose to the Chargers, the Jags beat the Colts, and then the Ravens beat the Steelers. The Raiders, then they would actually end up being the 7 seed. The issue is this. I do not want to rely on the Jaguars beating the Colts because the Jags just lost by 40 points to the New England Patriots. So let's just say the Raiders, they get into the playoffs, y'all, okay? And the reason why I was rooting for certain teams is because out of all the teams on screen right now, I would probably rather go up against either the Tennessee Titans if they don't have Derrick Henry, or the New England Patriots if they end up winning the AFC East. So out of the teams right now who are the potential division winners, and when I say potential, I mean the Bengals, the Titans, the Chiefs, they have all clinched their division. It really comes down to New England, and it comes down to the Buffalo Bills. So pick one team to face. If the Titans do not have Derrick Henry, I will take my luck with Tennessee and go ahead and type TEN. Now, when you look at this matchup here, this is really the only game that people are going to be probably worried about because, let's face it, we're going to know if the Colts won. We're going to know if the Bills won. We're going to know if the Patriots won. We're going to know all of these things by Sunday Night Football, and this is about as big as a game as you could ask for. I said last week, that game up against the Colts was a playoff caliber game. So for everyone that's like, oh, Derek's never played in the playoff game. Derek's never won a playoff game. Last week was a playoff game in my opinion. They ended up winning that game. Same thing goes for this. If you win this game, as far as I'm concerned, that is a playoff caliber game. But remember earlier on in this video, I said I kind of have a funny thing to be able to break down. The Raiders and Chargers can actually both get into the playoffs, and it's this, and it's a crazy, crazy scenario. So let's say in a crazy world, the Jags beat the Colts. If the Raiders and the Chargers tie, the Raiders and Chargers both get in the playoffs. So here's my question to you. In a bizarre world where the Jags go ahead and they take down the Indianapolis Colts, would you do this? Would you tie on purpose? So imagine the Colts lose to the Jags. The Raiders and Chargers then look at each other and say, hey, We can kneel every single time. The game can finish 0-0, and the Raiders make the playoffs and the Chargers make the playoffs. So would you tie on purpose if it meant making the playoffs? I want you to go ahead and type T for tie or type NT for no tie. I can understand for people typing T for tie because at the end of the day, if you make the playoffs, that could save a lot of jobs, which definitely is important. It also helps you rest players. It also basically helps you get an extra, I'll say, head start preparing for the following week, because then you'll know 10, 11, 12 hours earlier, hey, who I'm going to be going up against the playoffs. It also goes against everything I believe in as an athlete. It goes in against everything I believe in as trying to be able to go ahead and compete. Would you guys tie on purpose? Type T for tie, type NT for no tie. Definitely curious about what you guys have to say on this one.